It's only entertainment.
Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. So today we're going to take a look at a report from Brightfield Group about sweeps. Since we saw during the pandemic, edibles taking up a huge portion of purchases and the consumer behavior shift towards edibles during the pandemic. Let's follow up, being almost 3/4 of the way through 2021. I see sweets on the shelf. To help us do that, Katrina Glogowski, angel investor and attorney. Thanks for being back on the Talking Hedge.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, let's take a look at cannabis edibles trends. A report from Brightfield Group says that cannabis edibles market is expanding to surpass $10 billion by 2025, one of the fastest growing product types, capturing the third largest share of shelf of all cannabis product types. So what we're seeing is that 100 milligrams is the standard dosage in a single packet across state markets. That's the cap. You know, in the medical, you can maybe have 1,000, but for adult use, it's capped at 100. And so that's 62% of all edibles, and then 18% are chocolate flavored. I think maybe even subcategories are microdosing, 5, maybe 10 milligrams. People really like that low dosage. I heard Jim Brewer, the comedian, talking about really low dosage. So I think that's pretty popular.
I agree.
Yeah.
Got to start somewhere.
That's right. All right. Edibles consumer trends. Percentage of consumers who report using the product in the past 6 months. Gummies. Maybe they're called chewies because gummies in some states aren't legal.
Of course not.
Yes, but chocolate is still popular, although I think it's decreasing in popularity, which I find interesting. Hopefully there's going to be more healthy alternatives, granola or something other than just sugar and chocolate. But hopefully this will be an edibles report instead of a sweets report.
Mm-hmm.
So demographics of the edibles curious dispensary goer is different than other potential purchasers. So the survey found that U.S. edible purchasers tend to be younger, higher educated, and slightly higher income, and also have more likely to have children and be a woman. So they don't want to grab a pre-roll, even though I think the number one demographics is still white women 50 years and older that smoke pre-rolls. Apparently they don't, the soccer moms that are eating edibles don't want to smell or, have any apparatuses for dabbing or smoking flower or anything else. So that makes sense.
Makes sense to me. Perfect sense.
They are taking it for daily pain, wake and bake, and then stressed out millennials. So yeah, I don't really do edibles. I think the price points are really high. $20 for 100 milligrams out here in the West. I think they're probably really stupid expensive in any new emerging market. But yeah, for me right now, I'm taking a little bit of a flower THC for some of the pain. I've got a torn rotator cuff, or actually 2 of them. And then I take CBG powder in my coffee for the anti-inflammatory that really helps with the shoulder. And then if I go to the dentist like today, which is super annoying, I take CBD for that anti-anxiety, sit in the chair. Hopefully those will all be in an edible soon. But right now, just kind of taking this water-soluble flavorless powder.
Interesting.
That's what I do.
That's quite a spectrum there, Josh.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, just to get through the day.
Anything that's not an opioid works, right?
That's right. Edible companies are getting creative to differentiate themselves and appeal to the consumer groups with eye-catching packaging, unique flavor combinations. My wife is a sucker for packaging. She'll pick a bottle of wine, or used to, just based on the label. What's your deal? What's your go-to? Is it brand packaging? What is it?
I rely heavily on referrals from people that I know. Oh, hey, this was good. Try this. Oh, hey, this company is pretty good. Try this company. And then I try and find that in the store. The packaging in and of itself, to me isn't as important. I want to know what is in the package is quality. And I used to be fairly attracted to packaging, especially when you walk into my neighborhood store and there's thousands upon thousands of products that are all very attractive, and it's not always the best product. So learn my lesson there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're quite at the point where the companies can advertise, and really gain a loyal audience. But this report says that distinctive brand messaging is key to fostering brand loyalty beyond product attributes and features. But I don't think we're there yet. You can't really advertise yet in the traditional way to where you can evoke emotions suitable for that long-term loyalty. In traditional like media or advertising, you can do that in different forms. I don't think cannabis companies are set up for that yet.
I think it's very hard, the lack of advertising. A lot of these products haven't been around for very long to build that following. I think some segment of this market is experimental. So you're not going to have brand loyalty for an experimental customer. I think you can put whatever you want on the package, but what's inside is going to result in a second purchase, not because the package is pink or green or yellow.
Right. And that's the other thing that said is successful edible brands provide consistent products, memorable branding, and focus on building long-term emotional relationships with their customers. Vaping isn't necessarily an edible, but when you have problems with your vape carts over and over and it's consistent, that's a problem. The flower companies are going to have an issue if the retailers keep selling products that are, over a year old. I bought a Cannagar in Oregon that was harvested a year earlier. I just had a guy show up a week or two ago with a pre-roll that was harvested over a year ago, and we hid it just for science, and it was bad. It was like dust. It was really hard to we had to throw it out, but
yeah, it's not good.
So looking at distribution trends, which I think is important, how you distribute. You could have the best brand, the best team, but if you don't have a distribution channel, you're going to go nowhere fast. So looking at flavors, grape has been popular over time, and looking at different SKUs from May to June, you've got some gummies again, like pretty much all the way down, just different
Yeah.
flavors of gummies.
Well, I mean, I don't think that flavors are going to vary very much from, say, lifesavers. The other industries have put a lot of research into what flavors people like. Grape, always very popular. Cherry, very popular. Strawberry. And I think you see these trends replicated in the gummy market. Chewy market.
Market, yeah. Looks like mango's taking it away at around 3.5% of market share. So some of the dosage, 90 milligrams takes 37%. So a lot of people are doing this for sleep, around 1/5. Relaxation is 40%. And then, small percentage for creativity, exercise, focus, but mostly stress and sleep and relaxation.
Agreed, which makes sense. I really think that this demographic in particular would also apply to any cannabis consumption, be it pre-roll, be it oils. This is why people are using cannabis.
Yeah, I would extend that to why a lot of people drink as well. They want stress relief and relaxation. They don't want to go to sleep, but it makes them pass out. So yeah, I would definitely say that there's a heavy push. There's a lot of women apparently that are smoking during the pandemic. That's one of the new trends that we talked about on our last podcast, that is more dominant, and younger women are smoking more. We talked about kind of the rosé all day and the Merlot mommy and the push for the wine industry and everything else. So it just seems like maybe there's a shift. away from alcohol and towards cannabis for the same reasons, relaxation and stress relief.
Right.
So some baked good dosages, 1,000 milligrams. What medical market is that in?
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, interesting. So some growing baked goods on the shelf. There's some birthday cake cookies, stroopwafel, nut cookies, chocolate macaroons. These are kind of specialty products you don't normally see. They'll use in large, bulk. You're going to see a lot of chewies, things that have a longer shelf life.
Yeah, I think that the traditional stereotypical spiked brownie is this category, and they're primarily medical. I don't see a lot of recreational users wanting to ingest the calories and sugar and everything else just to just to relax. So I see this category is very niche.
hmm Yeah, it looks like larger packs are increasing in popularity, while smaller sizes like the 5 milligrams lost share. Maybe that's people just not wanting to go in, people that don't have the option of delivery. Not really sure what, but again, bulk buying, we talked about that at the beginning of the pandemic as well.
Yeah.
Cannabis baked goods, they've got a diversity in the THC CBD ratio. I really like that 1-to-1 ratio. The CBD I take is a 20-to-1 because I want some THC in there to get that entourage effect. But the 1-to-1 really popular, 83%. And in terms of flavors, chocolate kind of taking that top spot at 24%. The rest of them kind of look like a s'more: honey, cinnamon, marshmallow, brownies, peanut butter.
But I think that that trend would play in in the candy industry as a whole.
Yeah.
I think more people eat chocolate bars than any other candy, whether it's infused or not. So that statistic doesn't surprise me.
Right. Relaxation is the number one reason why people choose chocolate. Intimacy. So maybe, I don't know, they want to get high with their significant other. Chocolates are a universal symbol of romance. THC chocolates are the most romantic product type, with intimacy relationships as a top positioning. All right.
Oh, Brightfield Group.
It's not even February, y'all. Getting into it.
Oh dear.
So 100 milligrams took 3/4 of all purchasing for chocolate. And it looks like in terms of market share, anywhere from 2.5 to 4.5%, throwing in toffee and espresso, mint and blueberry in there for baked goods. Plain chocolate, THC, the most common with 54%. The 5 flavors being blueberry, espresso, mint, peanut butter, and toffee are commonly paired with chocolate. So there you
I
go.
think that's again true in just the general candy market.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, what we're seeing here, at least in the Northwest between Portland and Vancouver, is that chewies or gummies dominant. And that's, I think, mostly because of the shelf life, really. I knew really, really good chocolatiers that just couldn't hold, a position because the cost of goods sold were too high and the demand wasn't there. To try and distribute it and mass produce it was an issue. So that is it with us. Anything that you're seeing in the edibles market? I think most people that I know, because of the 100 milligram cap, like Rick Simpson oil or Phoenix Tears RSO, and they'll spread that on something and eat that because, again, these products are expensive with limited milligrams.
I have some issues with the edibles. Number one, calories, and not just because I'm a girl or concerned about calories in particular. I ascribe the same concern about calories to alcohol. So it's like kind of wasted calories for what you're getting. I don't like the expense of edibles. If you can buy a Snickers bar for 79 cents, why wouldn't you just have some flour and the Snickers bar at the same time? So paying $20-$30 for some chocolate is painful to me. And then the last piece is the struggle to have something consistent and tasty. Cannabis is an oil, and you're putting oil in this product, and effectively dispersing that oil uniformly across the chocolate bar can be very difficult. And maybe that's why the price is so high. And finding one that tastes good. Cannabis tastes disgusting. It's disgusting. And you're mixing something that tastes like, stinky, dirty feet into a chocolate. And the technology it isn't really there yet. And I think the edibles, if you find one that is tasty goodness, please send it our way, because they're few and far between, which might explain some of the flavors you're seeing, and why you can only put 5 milligrams in a chocolate bar. Well, that's to hide the taste, so maybe that's why they're doing that, right? But anyway, those are my opinions on edibles. I know a lot of people like them. I know they are incredibly popular for those who cannot inhale either flour or oils, because of their medical condition prohibits them from inhaling something, and it's a good alternative. But I do view it as an alternative, and kind of a soccer mom product.
Yeah. One other thing is traveling. A lot more people are going to be traveling. They're going to have anxiety. If you remember the story about that guy who smoked too much meth before getting on a plane, and then taking off out of the door, down the slide, and off the tarmac. Yeah, I mean, just don't smoke meth. I mean, that's the solution right there. Also, don't use too much cannabis. When I was flying, I can take at least 100 milligrams, but what I find annoying is they're individually packaged at 10 milligrams. And they're childproof. So you can't just rip open these chewies, these things that look like packaged little Starburst things. And so you're just sitting there like you're like this crackhead ripping these 10 bags open, so you can get to oh my God. Yeah. So that's another reason why I stick to just a tanker or syringe of RSO, spread that on something, and it's so much easier and more affordable and just better, in my opinion.
Yes, the frustration of getting the package open. Yeah, I've been there. I've experienced that. I've even given up. I'm like, I can't even get this thing open.
Mm-hmm. Well, I get my
carry scissors.
Yeah, I get my CBG in a little powder. It's water soluble, flavorless. I put that in my coffee because I don't want to just be eating chocolate bars. It's too expensive. So give me a big packet of wholesale powder, and I'll add it to whatever I need to. I think that's eventually what is going to end up being for some of us that consume heavily. Just makes more sense. I don't know. What makes sense for you guys? Let us know in the comments. I think with that, we're going to roll this up. I want to thank my guest, Katrina Glogowski, angel investor and attorney. Thanks for being with us on The Talking Hedge.
Thanks, Josh.
Appreciate it. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out, and check out these other videos that we've got.